Good evening and welcome to our Friends of Wheeling meeting for July. Today is July the 30th, 2024. And we are here at Waterfront Hall for an after tour. You will be able to see our before pictures on our Facebook page along with these. We will post those shortly after the tour. But first, a commercial message. As you may have seen in our latest newsletter, Friends of Wheeling was fortunate enough to get a $10,000 grant to help with the replacement of our windows at our Hughes House project at 722-724 Main. That will help with about a third of the project cost. So if anyone would like to contribute to help with the match, all you need to do is give me some money or Steve Sewler, who is our treasurer, or send a check to Friends of Wheeling Rehab Fund, P.O. Box 889, Wheeling, West Virginia 26003. And again, this will be on our Facebook page, so if you didn't write that down, you can find it. And we appreciate any help that you can give us to make that project continue going. So, as I said, this evening we are here at Waterfront Hall. This building has quite a history based primarily on the business that was here before. There was an English immigrant by the name of John W. Berry who came to Wheeling and started a rope making business somewhere in the early 1820s. Reports vary as to whether it was 1824 clear up to possibly 1829, but somewhere in that time frame he started a rope making business, and it was supposed to have been, according to history sources, that he manufactured the first manilla rope west of the Allegheny Mountains, right here in Wheeling. As time passed, the business continued, and until it was sold many years later, it was for years known as the oldest continuing business in Wheeling. Back in the 1800s, rope was made by spinning fibers of hemp or banana plant to make manilla rope. This was done on long rope walks where men would sit there all day and weave the fibers together to make rope. The first one, owned by the Berry Company, was in North Wheeling, supposedly, quote, in an orchard near the Joseph Bell Foundry off Franklin Street, which we now know as 6th Street. The workers were known as cord wainers, and they worked in an elongated covered shed, twisting the hemp and manila grass fibers into rope, unquote. By the time of the 1864 city directory, John Berry's son, Charles Berry, was now in charge of the company, and they were manufacturers and dealers in manila, hemp, flax, and cotton cordage, lines, gum, leather, and cotton belting. By 1886, they also advertised having tackle blocks, fishing tackle, etc. And around that time period, Charles Berry employed close to 24 young men. Now, what's interesting is Charles Berry Jr., so the grandson of the original owner, married a woman whose maiden name was Lyda Hughes, and lo and behold, they lived in 724 Main Street, which is the building that we are currently rehabbing in North Wheeling. So we have a connection here. Unfortunately, over the years, they had a bit of problem. And in 1871, there was a disastrous fire. They rebuilt, and there was a second fire. And there was a note that was sent to them that said that the writer had determined to break up the business and had burned him out once and would do it again until he ruined Mr. Berry and satisfied his revenge. Oh. Now, I tried to follow up with newspaper articles after that and could not find any evidence of any arson charges against anybody. By 1905, there was an actual separate advertisement in the city directory advertising Charles H. Berry Supply, manufacturer and dealer in manilla, hemp, jute, flax, and cotton cordage. Manufacturer of rope and twine, dealer in tar, pitch, rosin, oakum, blocks, packing yarn, leather and gum, stitch canvas belting, wood and steel split pulleys and mill supplies, gum packing, lace leather, rivets, bell hooks, and fire brick, tile and clay, and mechanical rubber goods.
Oh my goodness.
And that was here at the Water Street business when it was here. In 1945, the Berry descendants sold it to a couple who ran here still under the name Berry Supply, a kitchen and plumbing supply operation. And again, it was here for many years until 2018, when this young man, Dan Millison, purchased the property and put significant changes into it. And that's what we'll see today in our after tour. And he has said we will be able to go all through the building, including, if we want to, on the roof. And I said, hey, we're friends of wheeling people. Of course we want to go on the roof. If you are not a member of Friends of Wheeling, I just happen to have with me membership cards, and for $10 a year, you will learn about our tours, which are usually once a month or so. So with that, I will turn it over to Dan.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Could I get just a show of hands if you've been inside before? If you've been here to eat? Okay, about half or so. We opened almost 1 year ago, August 4th, 2023, and we're still in business. We have two great tenants who serve the food here, Wood-Fired Pizza and Avenue Eats. And this is officially West Virginia's first food hall. I know that because I realized in October of 2022 that this concept of a two-kitchen food hall concept where someone else is serving the alcohol was actually illegal in West Virginia. I found that out in October of 22 and panicked and cried and went away for 2 weeks. And then after feeling sorry for myself, I contacted Ryan Weld in West Virginia State Senate. I contacted Sean Fluharty, who's a delegate. By design, one Republican and one Democrat. And I told them that this was a concept that existed in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Ohio. And what we had was basically antiquated liquor laws that disallowed me from having a new concept here in Wheeling. And so I had a plan A, which was pursue this with the politicians and try to get this liquor permit, this bill passed and this liquor permit through, and then plan B, which was basically to separate these two first floor sides from one another entirely, create two different things, and that was going to be costly. And so I gambled and I just kept going with the plan A, and lo and behold, on I think it was March 9th, 2023, I think it was House Bill, or not sure if it was a House Bill or Senate Bill, 534 passed, and it granted the first ever, what they called a food court liquor permit. Then that bill, once passed, became law in the state of West Virginia. 90 days later, June 9th, I applied for the license June 10th. So this is West Virginia's only food hall. I think that's currently licensed, but I think there's other applicants now. And you see these in all the big cities, I mean, to a greater scale. They're, you know, in Columbus, there's a place called Bud Berry Food Hall by Cameron Mitchell, a famous restaurateur. He's got 10 concepts in there, 10 food concepts. So this is on a micro scale, rightly sized for Wheeling, I think. And what I think is unique about it is that we also have live music on the first floor. And as of right now, we've done 60 shows since we've opened of all different types of genres, 13 kinds of music. 13 different genres, I should say. We've got salsa coming up and jazz too, so that'll make 15. But basically what I was trying to accomplish here was I was trying to meet the needs of Wheeling itself through the use, yes, of all kinds of different studies that were done, and the 2014 Envision Wheeling Comprehensive Plan. And what I wanted to do were meet as many initiatives in those plans as possible while creating something that I felt was original and that I enjoyed being in and that I enjoyed in other places. So that's what I tried to do. And Avenue Eats kind of took the first step with me and gambled on this place. And we opened, like I said, August 4th, and it appears that with the food tenants on the first floor, with the bar, with the live music, and then the events on the third floor of this building, that we have something sustainable, something lasting, something that we can build off of. So there are now, I heard the 24 young men line in there. There are 16 people working in here for me, probably 7 full-time workers. Avenue Eats has 8 to 10. Wood-fired Pizza has 8 to 10. And then we are dancing around with a potential spa tenant on the second floor, which I'll show you the location of that. And they'll have 8 to 10 employees. So if this thing really goes the way I hope it does, it appears that as many as 40 people will be working here, which packs us in really tightly and uses every square foot of the space. And so that's really what I wanted to accomplish. I have no storage in this building whatsoever. You'll see that. But in fact, we have chairs stored on the rooftop.
And then do you make rope?
We don't, no. But there are times that I want to rappel off the top of the building.
Do you have fire insurance?
We do,
You
yeah.
have fire insurance. Okay.
I also, now this, I'm not the person to talk history with all of you, I don't think, but I do remember part of the story from the fire in 1871, which happened on my birthday, actually, February 12th, that this side of the building collapsed into a pen of pigs. A couple pigs passed away and 2 people. Yeah. So there's some spirits back here. So does anybody have any questions before we go inside? Yeah.
I know you were affected by the floods in April.
Yeah.
How's that?
I in the beginning cursed the flood code guidelines and all of the things that I had to do to appease the flood code officials. I'm going to spend all this money. It saved me because no mechanical systems were harmed at all because they're all elevated, right? So all of the HVAC's on the roof because they told me I had to. The electrical, all of the new electrical we put in the building is elevated 13 feet off because they told me we had to. And it saved me. And so I learned very quickly that, okay, well, that was worth it. Yeah.
So do you have pumps in the basement then? Because it was.
We put 2 of our own pumps down there. We ended up with 2.5, 3.5 feet of water downstairs on a empty concrete floor. The only thing I was concerned about was that time will tell, I put a hydraulic elevator in here, which means it pushes from the bottom. So water was in that elevator shaft. And it's operational, things are fine today, but I don't know, hindsight we'll be able to see if that was wise or not. But there was so much going on during the construction that the last thing I was thinking about was a flood that could or might not be a 20-year flood that would actually get to that elevator. But we had it. But we were closed one day and then closed the following morning for lunch. We reopened. So we were proud of that.
And how about the road construction? Has that impacted you, or can you tell?
I'm not sure because we opened right in the midst of it. So I don't know a world without it. But I do know that we are all very excited about what happened last week, which was to get a smooth Main Street. And hard to tell yet what impact it's having, but I think in the 6 months we'll see a little surge from people who otherwise might have been avoiding downtown.
And the parking situation, that's better.
Yeah, I was on the news there or in the paper for advocating for a one-way street, which I should have known was a little too ambitious. I was concerned, just to kind of explain myself, I was concerned that this street was going to be too narrow to have be a two-way street and all that parking you see, and I believe that's still right. It's pretty narrow. You step off this curb and you're in the pathway of the car, which I don't love. But I understand all the drama around two-way and one-way streets in this town, and I'd like to step away from that. But we love having these 20 spaces here. It has made those lunchtime visitors especially way more consistent in coming down here. It's easier to get in the building.
Okay, anything else before we start walking? We're a pretty big group, so you may not be able to hear everything as we go through, but again, I'm going to follow him with the camera, and you'll be able to see the tour later on the Friends Wheeling Facebook page.
On YouTube. It'll be on
And
YouTube.
YouTube, and Joanne always sends me the link, and that link will be in next month's newsletter.
So, if it's all right with everybody, I'm going to take you down this walkway and in the elevator. And it might take a little while to get everybody upstairs. There are stairs, and you can follow me up those. We'll start on the 3rd floor and work our way down.
Okay.
Okay?
But we do get to go on the roof.
If you want, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell the fire.
Okay, hold it how you want it. Yeah.
No, this parking lot is owned by the Century Group, which own that building right there. They have about 65 spaces, and they are amazing neighbors who, during 3rd floor events like weddings, have let us use this and have leased some spaces for the restaurants. We have parking on the other side for our staff, and yeah, so that's basically the situation there. Any other questions before we head inside?
So your building is both, it's the whole front that we see here?
Yeah, it's the whole shebang. That's
the whole shebang. Okay.
1870, 73, 77. Sometimes I waver back and forth because I see both out there. But and then that's a 1966 edition on the other side.
Okay.
So, but you'll see the very different architectural characteristics of them. Follow me. Don't miss this mural here, by the way.
Thank you for keeping it.
Yeah, I love it. And then this is much more ghostly here, but this is an even older mural. It's kind of difficult to make out.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Well, interpret it for me.
I wish I had an interpretation for you. I see Barry on there, I believe, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe it says supply.
Supply, maybe, yeah.
I see an S.
There's an E.
So maybe that sign covered up the first part or something. I don't know. Yeah.
See the S. So see the rest of it. Figure I'll look at my pictures
I like your plants along the side here.
Laura Graves is the thank for those.
Uh-huh.
She owns Avenues, and she's got some tomatoes and...
Uh-huh.
About 6 or 7 of you can probably take the elevator here. Come on in.
Move.
No, I'm going to follow him. Yep.
All the way up. 3rd floor. Yeah. Yeah, come on in.
The ceilings, are they original?
As far as I know, they go all the way back to the construction of the building.
Uh-huh.
Though we don't know quite for sure. But
So they're not new anyway.
no, they're
Yeah.
definitely over 100 years old.
Okay. They're beautiful.
The color scheme that you see, these have all been repainted and restored. And the color scheme you see there is not all that different from what we first encountered, but only 25% of the ceiling was visible, and now about 60% of it is. So if you walk out there later in the show.
Yeah.
I want to show the key to the building. kind of gives an idea of how it's going. So we're headed to the event venue where there's also a catering kitchen. The second floor is the future location of the spa and 2 apartments we gave them these names.
Okay, and are they rented yet?
They're actually, this is a short-term rental, and this is more of a green room for bands. But we just had a couple gentlemen come into town and rent them for 3 months.
Oh my.
Yeah, they're shooting a movie in town.
Awesome.
So they're here until October 20th.
Go ahead.
I'll wait for the next time possibility. How do we
No, I would need to wait with you. Shall you and I go?
You sure, Becky, you don't want to run?
No, go ahead.
We'll take the last round.
Take the last run.
Two apartments and
You're going on the next one?
yeah.
Are you the insurance agent? Nationwide?
I live in that office part time.
Do you?
Yeah, I turned it into an apartment. It's like kind of working.
You don't have your business there.
No, student bill and campus.
So, customers who are going to the event venue would ride this elevator. Is that correct?
This elevator or take that stair.
Yeah. And your tenants could also use this or the stairs. Is that,
We had the sitting governor here last week. He was here for a women of basketball event. There were about 9,500 people here. And so he rode the elevator.
I'm sure he did. Yes.
Yeah, the dog was here too.
And
I didn't stay real close. I was kind of in the background there, but I think the dog wanted to be really close here.
Baby dog.
whoop.
Yeah, we went the wrong way.
You can all fit on it. It's good. We'll give everybody a chance to look around up there.
Yeah.
It's going to be probably a little warm. We usually have the air conditioning off when we don't have an event for a few days.
Sure. Makes sense.
But we turned it on this afternoon before y'all came.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This side will be much warmer than this side because the ceilings aren't insulated over here because we wanted to leave them exposed because they're beautiful and older, and it kind of adds to the atmosphere of the place.
And what is your capacity?
225 to 240.
Oh, really? Okay.
If I miss this one,
You had mentioned that this was a 66 edition. When it was very supplied, was it that side as well, or did you bust open into it?
So this entire space up here was almost entirely walled off from this space, and this is the doorway.
Okay.
So so we filled in what little doorway existed, and then we made 3 around 11-foot wide openings to create one room to run this as an event space and to have the kind of amount of people that you need to run a viable event business.
So what's your capacity for an event?
Comfortably is 225. If you want to get uncomfortable, we could probably go to 250.
What does the fire marshal say?
250.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we have 2 brand new fire escapes. One, many of you just walked up.
Yep.
And there's a mural project going on in there right now, so I apologize for the mess. We're working with Augusta Levy, and they have some students over here that have been working on this for like 8 weeks now. But there's that egress, which is a brand new 22-foot long by 9.5-foot wide block structure that I'm thankful for a lot of the grant programs that are available because that helped us pay for that. And then there's another one right around the corner there. So we meet all the building codes.
So that's an addition you did, the stairwell?
That's correct.
I knew that wasn't original to the building, but yeah.
Right. There was an office added on in the back of this building, and it was a block structure, but it was only 2 stories high, and we took the ceiling out of it and went all the way up to the 3rd floor. Yeah, it was like a puzzle trying to put the stair towers in here. After I learned that, so this is rated as like an assembly space, and when you have an assembly space, the building code states very imperatively that you got to have 2 means of egress. They have to meet all these modern codes, and it was a very expensive part of the project.
What caught your interest to be interested in to do this?
I've been in the insurance business. My family's been in the insurance business, and as I was working to grow that in my 20s, I redid 2 brick older office buildings and loved it, even maybe a little bit more than the insurance. And I still didn't know much and was totally delusional. Showed up here and gritted it out.
We're glad you did.
Yeah, it was a learning experience.
The floors look good.
These are pine. Yep, these are original and newer pine, obviously, but that's pine as well. We did some patching. I have to give a shout out to. I'm gonna ask that you put this in the caption somewhere. I'm gonna get you the name. I can't remember the flooring guy. We had a lot of subcontractors here. He's from Yorkville though, and he did an amazing job.
Daily.
Thank you, Jim Daly. It was amazing how fast he was able to sand these and get these resurfaced. And he did a lot of work for us on the 2nd floor that you'll see too. And I would recommend him to anybody. So.
You have a couple of dates on top of that column over there. What are they? What?
You want to walk over there? 'Cause I'm not sure if I know.
Let's hope those are not flood.
That'd be 1936, right?
Yeah.
So this entire room when I got here was inventory racks with long pieces of countertop and long pieces of pipe slid way back them with labels on them. And Sue Smith and her late husband Tom were using it mostly as like warehouse space. This building was really 1/6 showroom and 5/6 warehouse space. So I would think that that's late 1990s, early aughts, but I'm not 100% sure. And they were probably up on the inventory racks, maybe writing something up there. But yeah, so this ceiling, we chose not to insulate it, and that's obviously presented some problems as we've had weddings up here in this heat in the summer. But I'm still glad that we didn't, because it kept so much of the character of this room that we had to lose on this side. And the reason that we insulated and drywalled this ceiling was because we wanted to capture the tax credits on doing that ceiling in a way where it could have a use above it on the rooftop. So we have a reinforced ceiling ready for a people load on the rooftop, and we also have the 2-hour burn time necessary to allow you to occupy it. All that in preparation for just the possibility that you might be able to go up there and do that someday. The elevator, as you'll see, some of you will see if you'd like to go, also goes to the rooftop. Again, all in preparation for the possibility that we might go up there. But this, I just loved the way this looked. Got a lot of different opinions from people about, preservation people about what to do here. And we don't mind suffering through the electric bills all that much, but
All right, where do we go next?
any other questions from anybody? All right. So this other side here, much cooler. And just a cool kind of thing we kept around. That's an old elevator door flipped sideways. And that piece of what we believe to be cedar on top was in this room, and we turned that into the bar top. And so our bartenders from the first floor will come up here and bartend the weddings and events that we have.
That's not a full kitchen, right? It's just that quick.
It's no longer back there. It's a catering kitchen, a warming kitchen. We've had probably 20 different caterers in here now. And if anybody needs to use the restroom, it's right here.
I knew it all when we were in there, so I didn't think there'd be a fake on the tour. But apparently I was wrong.
So nothing really significant in here other than, this is what we present to incoming caterers as the space where they can get everything ready for weddings and all of that. And then our tenants have both used this space at times to cater different events as well. So
Do you have a dumbwaiter? No.
just that elevator right there. But the one thing we did prepare for was that elevator opens to this side with a code. So when you hit 3, or if you just hit 3R, you can't come in here. You have to hit 3R and then a 4-digit code caterers will have when you make it to sneak back here. It's also good for a bride that wants to hide or something like that too. So, but yeah.
Or the groom.
Or the groom. And I think our staff uses it to hide sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go check on the rooftop real quick, just to see how much water is sitting up there from the showers that we had today, because it is a flat roof.
Or perhaps, I don't know how many people are interested. If there are
Yeah.
just a few, then maybe we could go ahead and do the other tour, and then those of us who want to do the roof. I see a show of hands. Who would like to go on the roof?
I like your idea anyway.
Okay.
Let's move on down. And
Okay, and then we'll go up. Okay.
If you want to hit that button right there, we can start taking people down. We're going to 2.
So we don't need the code to go down,
No.
only to come up.
And anybody who would like to walk down the stairs, you can follow me.
Hold it open.
How to go?
Let's go the other side.
Let me.
Yeah, let's. That way we can meet those coming off the elevator. These are. Yeah, we have a very busy September, October. 26th of yeah, that's
And Dan, if someone would like to book an event here, what is your contact information?
everything's the best place to go for any kind of correspondence about anything we do is waterfronthall.com. You can drop in some information for your event there. You can tell us that your band wants to play here. That's the best place to go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys the fancy apartment first. Do you want to wait, Gene, or before everybody gets down here? Or
It's a big group, so we probably.
I'm going to prop this door open. I'll just leave it.
And your tenant is okay having visitors?
It doesn't come until tomorrow.
Ah, okay. Well, that's lucky.
We call this apartment the Berry Loft. This is an ode to the former owners. Turn some lights on. It's a bathroom.
Oh, this is a residential apartment.
Short-term rental, yeah.
Very nice. Did you do the design yourself, or did you have?
I had lots of help. Dennis Madonna was the architect on this project. In the early days, Betsy Sweeney played a big role in thinking how we make new finishes, countertops, and then everybody has participated recently in what we bought on Facebook Marketplace to fill it up, and the couches. And it's been a team effort all the way through. My fiance Paige has played a big role.
I remember when you first moved in, I thought it was on the list.
There's an old picture of the windows being covered up in 1966 right there. These windows.
I'm sure Joanne will get a picture of the picture. Yeah. All right. Do you want to explain again what? Okay.
Okay, so this we call this the Berry Loft. This was a former office. We do know that, even though it was used as a warehouse, more or less for storage when we got here. These are the original red oak floors that would have been installed when there was an office in here. We don't know whose it was. We might be able to find out if we look into it a little further, but definitely the floor had a completely different finish in the front end of this part of the building. So I looked at that and thought, okay, well, who wouldn't want to live above this concept on the first floor? And kind of thought through it a little more as 2019, 2020 rolled by. And I thought, well, an Airbnb is the way that the most people get to appreciate this place. And so that's what we decided to do. And so this apartment is very much set up as, a resort hotel room, if you will. You'll notice robes in the closet in there, slippers. We wanted to make people feel, especially guests who wanted to book the third floor for weddings, like they had an oasis down here. So there's great views of the river. I want to live here. It doesn't make any financial sense for me to be here. But I've stayed a couple nights and do love it very much. Funny story about this space. I was down at the Arts Festival when it was down on the riverfront, probably 5 or 6 years ago, when I was then looking at like the Becker Hardware Building as a potential location to do this. And it was Mr. Thornton, Jim?
Yes.
He had a picture, and it was a shot of the river, and then from Wheeling Island across, and you can see this building in the far right corner, and the picture's hanging right there on the hallway wall. the date on the picture says 1890, and then I walked in here while I was doing this project and saw September 10th, 1890 on here. And it was just a weird thing. It was like, well, when that picture was the same year that picture was taken on that wall that I had before I'd ever stepped foot in here, it was the same time somebody was scribbling on this wall. I thought that was kind of cool. There are two really cool guys that I've met who have collected antiques all their lives. Their names are Dave and Dan. And together, really Dave, he opened up Paxton House Antiques in Center Market. I'm not sure if you guys have checked the place out. I love their style, love what they've collected. That's their shelf, their other shelf, their painting. I mean, everything that they had, I loved it. So I kind of followed them around for a while and picked certain pieces out. But yeah. Paxton House is closed, but I think Dave and Dan both still have a lot of cool stuff at their houses and around town that's available. But
Did you do anything to treat the exposed brick?
yeah, so my mother actually and her friend Sharon came down here in the weeks before we were opening, and we were dripping with sweat scrubbing this. You know, and I owe my mom so much credit for all of the really amazing cleaning work that she did in here. But we didn't like downstairs. Obviously, you have food down there. It's a different. We clear coated those walls. Here we haven't done that. We just clean them to the best of our ability. And if you rub your hand down it, you're going to get some brick dust on it. But so we didn't go over the top. You'll notice plaster on that wall. And I love the way it looks. I didn't want to change anything. And then funny story about the sign over there, that was stapled shut in a box, had never been opened, and the Berry family just left it here. It plugged right in, lit right up. It's probably from the early 90s.
What happened to the saw they had downstairs?
I have the saw.
Do you?
Yeah, it's not here.
Yeah, neither do I. They used the saw to cut the ice out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The saw, yeah. It's yeah, I have it, but it's not here because I'm afraid what might happen. You know, if it knocks it off the wall, and yeah. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the bedroom, bathroom, we worked with Jameson Floors on the tile. We worked with the new lumber, and again, Mr. Daly on wood flooring, and. Yeah, really happy with the way that it turned out. It all felt like a blur because there were so many decisions that needed to get made all at once in order to hit the historic tax credit deadline, and you know, because we placed the building in service when the first floor opened, but then we only had 3 months to get this finished, and it was a difficult period of time, but here we go.
What's the story with the table? Industrial looking table.
Dan and Dave, that's actually it's called a beers. That's what a casket rolls on. Yeah. Yeah. And it's got my initials in it too. It's got DC in it. So yeah, Dave, he's got all kinds of weird stuff. He's got 3 more of those in his house on 12th Street.
Do you have it on Airbnb?
It's-
Or if you're wanting to?
Yeah. Thanks for the plug. It's on Airbnb, it's on VRBO, and we have a direct booking website that we also use. There's a 2-night minimum stay. We're trying to be very cautious about how we lean into this, just because we have all these people we love that work here. We want to make sure that it's a good environment for everybody. But yeah, and we weren't really sure what to charge and all that, but give us some time. We'll get it to where it feels appropriate for.
Nobody's rented it yet.
We rented it 12 nights, and it just got booked for 70 nights.
70?
Yeah, through October. Just out of nowhere, a film director and a film producer walked in here who were shooting the movie in Moundsville. at the penitentiary. It's like a thriller, drama kind of movie. And they were interested in it, and we discounted the nightly rate by a long ways, and they decided they wanted to stay here. And so it's August 1st to October 20th. All their meetings are going to be here. Like, that's a good thing for us. So, yeah, and it's good for everybody to have them in town too. So. Room service? The agreement we're going to set up, and I think this is how we'll do it with anybody who wants to stay for longer than 10 days, is we'll do a weekly service, and by request. We have laundry on site here, back by the prep kitchen. So, yeah, we'll take care of a lot of that for them. Have them do their own laundry at specific times, but like bedding and the whole apartment once a week for them, probably. Yeah. What's nice about that is that you have to pay sales tax, or you have to assess sales tax and then pay it if the stay is any less than 30 days. So we actually got to we don't have to pay the sales tax on these either, which is kind of nice, and we really kind of fell into a good situation.
That's great.
All right, and there's a second apartment here as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Not good. Good. There's a big disclaimer on the listing that says it's going to be loud. There's nothing we can do.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. You know the history of the base of this coffee table?
What I know about that coffee table is that my friend Dave had it, and it's a Beers, and at one point it had someone's coffin on it.
That's what we surmised, that's what she
You knew what it was, huh?
Well, because it can fold and get into
Yeah, and
it is very heavy duty.
It's so well made, it rolls like the smoothest thing
And
you've
it's
ever
got some
seen.
ornamentation to it, so all those things, it wasn't just an industrial use.
Yeah.
That we could figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the elevator at St. James Church up on Chaplain Street accommodates.
the size of these?
Well, I just figured.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2 and 17 together, however much that is.
So my friend Dave, who I bought this off of, he has more of these at his house up on 12th Street. And yeah, I thought it was the coolest thing.
I did
It
too.
is.
Yeah, he had a piece of glass too. So this is the photo I was talking about. And you can see Barry Supply right there.
Yeah. It's, I don't remember. Okay, you can see the train station. What's the white building? Hey, they got bingo in here. Bingo. Put your cards. Yeah, like us. This is all in a surfboard. This is cool. Well, this isn't what we passed, but it's. These are the good old days, that is true. All right, what church hall did you get this from?
How nice.
It reminds me of like the social halls that my parents would take.
The albums are in there?
Yeah.
Are they really?
Did you see this? Yeah. Is it Century Modern? No. That's right. Did you see this?
Yeah, surfboard, surfing.
Hey, Neil, how's your back up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it doesn't
it.
feel as right now.
No, I just didn't see any. Oh, now I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the bunk beds.
Yeah. We lovingly call it camp parties. Those are like old military surplus.
I love repurposing things.
Is this another Airbnb or is this going to be?
So this one has, the insurance company is skeptical about us having an Airbnb in this space because it's above the kitchens. So we utilize this primarily as green rooms for bands, staff office, staff hangout. So primarily it's been for us, but we are going to embark on a little 2-month journey with one of those aforementioned film folks. See how it goes. Thanks. So this is an amalgamation of all the weird personalities that work here. Different people have picked out different things.
Quite a collection.
There's not really any kind of aesthetic that makes any sense in here or anything like that. But it's just kind of a collection of everybody's stuff that they like.
So what's the reason for? Is it above the kitchen? Is it because of fire? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. But you know, with the whole building being sprinklered, with the 2-hour burn time below us, with 3 fire extinguishers in here as we're told to do, these are brand new hood systems below us with fire suppression systems on it. Everything is brand new and up to code, and still, I just think it's.
And you being an insurance professional,
Yeah, I've argued this point multiple times. But
Maybe that'll change too.
yeah. But it serves as a nice place for a band to warm up. And one thing, like, we can't afford to pay bands what larger venues can pay, of course. We're limited to 130 capacity down there. But what we can do is give them extraordinary hospitality and make them want to come back, even though we can't pay them as much. So this room allows us to do that. We've had charcuterie boards set up in here. We've had bands riders all laid out for them, whether that's a 12-pack of Yahoo or whatever the thing may be. And then it allows them to stay here if they want to as well, So it creates this hospitality opportunity that a lot of other venues do not have. So we try to look at it that way. A shower in there, full bathroom, full kitchen in there, and yeah, has all the same amenities as the other apartment, just not nearly as big or as fancy.
all right, let's move on downstairs. We're almost an hour, so
I'll show you. Probably should show them locations.
yeah.
Yeah, it's this direction. So this is kind of fun because you're going to get to see what the entire building looked like before we started. Because this room is unfinished. Please watch your step right here. There's a little drop off. Just be very careful there.
Changing grade here. Work in progress.
Yeah.
It's a huge room.
Yes. So I think you're going to cover this floor, not redo it.
Correct. This is what the entire second and third floor looked like when we got here.
So is that your office over there?
That's headquarters.
So you were saying that you lacked storage space. So is it possible to make this a little bit smaller spa and then also have some storage here?
According to their blueprints, no.
Oh, they need that much room.
They're interested in taking the whole space and using every inch of it as well.
Wow. Uh-huh.
It's more revenue for you.
And for them, they want to get every seat in here that they can.
Sure.
So,
And is there a basement in this building?
yes.
But it can get flooded, right? So you don't want to store too much down there.
Yeah, next to nothing, just shut down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much to see in here, everybody, but it's basically how the whole second floor looked before we got started. So.
What's the timeline on the finishing of this?
Well, we have a meeting this week, and then we're almost ready to sign a lease, but we're still negotiating a few things. And there's a lot that's in flux. The hotel announcement that happened right down the street, of course, that swings things some, and how you think about the future and 5-year renewal terms, and so I think we'll reach an agreement here soon, and they want to start construction almost immediately in here. So.
Well, to follow up on my question about the cocktail table base, it's another interesting one back there.
In the other apartment. So that was a Facebook Marketplace find. There was this. So my friend Vance, who owns the pizza place downstairs, found that at the home of a man who had all of these welding projects and seemed to be a real brilliant guy. There's a couple of his other pieces laying against that wall over there, just simple rectangles. But the point is, like, very useful, heavy-duty gauge metal. And so yeah, Vance picked that up, found it, and picked it up for me. And all those tables, the same way.
Good. I'm glad.
We can
So when was this building built?
66. Yeah.
1966.
1966, yeah.
So the way it's designed, 4 or 5 chairs for beauticians, 2 barber chairs, manicure, pedicure, 1 each, 2 massage chairs, and a room for estheticians.
That's nice. Yeah, that's a lot.
After you, I'll follow you.
Go ahead. I need to stick it.
If you need the number on the other side of the card, it's printed, underlined.
Okay,
You
great.
call that one,
Okay.
you're guaranteed to get it.
Okay, great.
At
Well,
some
I was just
point,
trying
at
to
some
call you
point.
to get this information.
If you ever call that,
Yeah, thank you.
involved in the side.
Me too. Great building.
I'm sorry that they closed it.
What year is that? What year is that coffee shop building? 1958.
I'm sorry, which building?
Down here on 14th Street.
Wheeling Coffee and
Oh,
Spice.
Wheeling Coffee and Spice, yes. Her name escapes me.
Allen's?
No.
Oh, well, the Allens are the ones who are going to do the hotel.
Oh, I'm coming.
They're showing the Olympics all the way through the end. Actually, let's walk over here. We'll just spread out a little bit better.
And the street address here is
1230.
1230 Water Street, Wheeling, West Virginia, 26003.
It's been running an hour.
Yeah.
That's my phone number, which is good. I'll give it back to you and give it back to me, and then I can say your advice when it's done.
Okay.
Okay, so where we're standing used to be a loading dock, and the height of this floor is actually about 3.5 feet up from where the loading dock used to be. The loading dock is at the level of the street, so this garage door was enormous. We put 8 feet of limestone tailings down and about 4 or 5 inches of concrete and just sent them on the ground. And the main reason for that was to bring this floor up to the level of that floor over there. And they create no stairs, no ramps, no railings, none of the necessary ADA, slide. We just wanted people to get around the building very easily. So,
Is this door open?
oh yeah, yeah. And this was a point of great contention with tax credit review because the door was finally opened overhead, but he didn't like the idea that there was a man door in it as well. So this is a man door. The entire outside limits one continuous door. They were moved back and forth on this island 3 or 4 times. But John Allen from Woodfield, they discussed the garage door. I'm really happy about that. Yes, yeah. Logan Schmidt from Wheeling, West Virginia, very popular artist, makes a lot of concert posters. This is the city of Wheeling with a flying turtle or terrapin above it. That's Rachel Goodman from St. Clairsville, amazing artist. She did the Sarah's on Main mural outside on the side of the building. And there's kind of the special code there with all those, the first letter of all those animal names that I'll let you guys try to figure out. And then Drew Gottschalk from Moundsville, all the way at the front. That's just some Grateful Dead iconography. That's something I love. I love Grateful Dead music. And that's Bertha and Uncle Sam leaning against Waterfront Hall up there.
It looks like you still have one more street.
We do, but I'm out of money. So that's going to turn into a merchandise wall somehow. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. Excuse me. Acoustic paneling on the walls right there. More brand new acoustic paneling right there. Because it gets loud and reflective in this space. You got this big metal garage door, this big metal HVAC guy. We need to tamp down how loud it is if we want to have, enjoy the concert experience. It's pretty bouncy. Of course, the more bodies you get in here, the better it becomes. Because the sound waves stop reflecting off those hard surfaces and hit on the bus. But, yeah, we spent invested a lot of money into having a legitimate concert venue. And so we got everything you need to just come in here, party, play. And like I said, we've done that around 60 times. So we know how to do it, but we don't know how to do it and make money at the same time. So we're hiring in actually members of the National Independent Venue Association. And that association's only 4 years old, but they actually got a $13 billion bill passed and the Save Our Stages Act passed to save live music during COVID. So out of the funding that came from that, they were able to start the organization. And so Rachel, who's right over there bartending, she books all the shows for us. She's amazing. She plays bass. She and I went to New Orleans, and we participated in this really great conference in Bowman. So we've been applying that since we got home in June. And the goal is to make this a long-term kind of community institution. But yeah, long road ahead to still talking about it.
So how will I know what venue is going to be playing? Do you have a list?
Yes. Anytime you want to see our concert, our upcoming concerts, all of those are available on our website. We always publish them, and there's always pre-sale tickets for sale as well. The next thing we have, we do a jam night every other Thursday. We just bring your instrument, come in here and play with our back lines. And then we're doing both of the blues festival after parties or after dinners on Friday and Saturday next week. So those are the next few things coming up.
All right, Dan, we're going to stop the formal part of this tour. And thank you very much. This is great. Again, we're at Waterfront Hall, and this is the Friends of Wheeling July 2024 tour. I will ask Joanne, before she shuts this off, to walk into the other side. I didn't get much of a view.
Let me go, and then I'll sign off.
And then Joanne will sign off.
All right, let's go. Here we go. We're going to go on the restaurant side. Here we go. We have Wood-Fired Pizza. We have Avenue Eats, both great restaurants. Plenty of places to sit. Beautiful ceilings, architecture. And here, when you get your food, order your food and pay for it, then you come here and get your drinks. Free refills on beverages. There you go. See you next time.